Kai Kara-France versus Mark De La Rosa takes place at flyweight on the main card of UFC Fight Night 157 Shenzhen China Andrade versus Zhang. And it's a great fight, okay? It's a great flyweight fight. Flyweight needs contenders. They need exciting contenders. And for the good of the UFC, Kai Kara-France needs to win this. And I believe that he will win this. I've been very impressed with him. A lot of people said, oh, he shouldn't have won his last fight. He got the split decision win over whatever the fuck his name, Rowling Paver, I think his name was, Rowling Paver. But when you really look into the record of Rowling Paver, I mean, he lost his last fight to a doctor stoppage, so that added an unnecessary loss. But before he fought Kai Kara-France, he was 18-1. You don't understand. There's a lot of people that seem to think that just because a guy is not at the top yet, that he's not top level. Rowling Paver's 23 years old. He's new to the game, but he's 18-1, and Kai Kara-France shut him off. Whether it was a close fight or not, I mean, Rowling Paver, there's nothing to suggest that he couldn't have been champion in the future. I mean, he lost to Dr. Stoppage in his last fight, so that kind of set him back a little bit. But you never know about guys until they move up the rankings. You never know. Like, let's say, like, Marvin Vettori's split decision loss to Israel Adesanya couldn't look any better. At the time, people were saying, oh, well, Israel Adesanya just got past another guy. But now, that split decision loss for Marvin Vettori looks so fucking good on his record to Israel Adesanya. Someone in the judges of that fight gave it to Marvin Vettori, and I feel like that's the situation Kai Kara-France is. He's in this new wave of flyweights coming up, and he's skating by a few of them by close decisions, but he's getting the job done. And I think he's going to get the job done against Mark De La Rosa as well. Mark De La Rosa, 11-2. Great fighter himself. The bigger guy at flyweight as well. I think he's fought at bantamweight a few times. I do feel as though he's going to lose. If I'm honest with you, I like Kai Kara-France's submission defense. I feel like that's the only way that Mark De La Rosa is going to win. I feel like to beat Kai Kara-France in the UFC flyweight division right now, you need Alejandro Pantoja, you need a Davison Figueiredo, you need a guy with some shutout power, some Cejudo power, I guess, could work as well. You need a guy that's going to make him pay, because Kai Kara-France can be KO'd. I mean, in his first 3 fights, he got KO'd in 2 of them, okay? That goes to say something. That's in his early part of his career. Imagine what his chin's going to be like now if you crack it with enough force. Okay, he does get hurt in fights. I feel like it's going to take a Davison Figueiredo. Some guy with beyond the flyweight's power for his size. That's really going to make Kai Kara-France pay for trying to eat some of these shots and come forward. I do think he's going to beat Mark De La Rosa. I really do. Mark De La Rosa's job is to take you down and submit you. He's got 1 TKO finish on his record. I feel like that's what you need to beat Kai Kara-France, and I don't see Mark De La Rosa being able to do it. He's also a young guy. He's not quite as young as Kai Kara-France, and Kai Kara-France is way more experienced. When I see 7 losses, but then I see the streak that Kai Kara-France is going on right now, it shows me that he's learned from them. You know, it's not like he's winning 2, losing 1, like his record would suggest. He had all of his losses in the very beginning of his career, which shows one thing. He just wasn't ready to be taken on that level of competition. Okay? But then he strings together, I mean, how many has he won? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He's won 12 out of his last 13 fights. That goes to say something, and he's done it against legit competition. But when I look at Mark De La Rosa's record, no split decision over Joby Sanchez. Decent win. Joby Sanchez is 12-5 at bantamweight. You know, it's a good win, I guess. And then you look at Elias Garcia, who is Anthony Pettis' cousin. He was 4-0 at the time. You beat him. Well done. You know, you lost to Tim Elliott. You're submitting guys that aren't really on your level. When I look at his one of his submission wins over Ivan Hernandez Flores, let's look. 9-2. Doesn't even have his age available to look up. Relative no-name. Then you look at Mahatma Chitbala Garcia Avalos, 8-7, his other submission win. I don't see the level of competition that Kai Kara-France has taken on. When you look at Kai Kara-France's record, he's also beat Elias Garcia, but he's beat Rowling Paver by split decision. Rowling Paver, as I said first, 18-1. He's beat some other decent guys. He lost to some shit guys. Oh, he lost on the Ultimate Fighter to fucking Alejandro Pantoja. I remember that, actually. That's not a bad loss, considering Alejandro Pantone is now top 5 in the division. I'd like to see that fight run back. If Kai Kara France can get through this one, I'd like to see him versus Alejandro Pantoja for sure. That's a great fight to have. Flyweights, I don't know what they're going to have to do. I feel like their best chance at getting some attention is Kai Kara France right now. How dare you? How dare you interrupt me? I feel like Kai Kara France is the best chance for flyweight right now. He looks good. He's a young guy. Not much of a shit talker, but he trains, and you can play off the fact and use some sort of trickle-down fame from Israel Adesanya to give to Kai Kara France because they train together. All it would take is for them to do a UFC short little 5-minute thing on Kai Kara France and put Israel Adesanya and him arm in arm on the thumbnail of the video for it to get a couple extra tens of thousand views. That's what they should go with him, if I'm honest with you. They should do a video about Kai Kara France where it's basically just him in the background of the video, but just Dan Hooker and Israel Adesanya just talking about him. That's what they should really do with him. And I feel like it could work. I don't see anyone else with any kind of hype behind him. I feel like he's going to pass this with flying colours. I'm kind of hoping that he passes it with flying colours as well. Mark De La Rosa is a dangerous guy. I don't think he has what it takes to beat Kai Kara France. You need big power. You need that shutout KO power to make Kai Kara France pay for his forward pressure. I don't think De La Rosa has it. I'll be honest with you guys. His one way of winning, in my opinion, is to either control you for the fight, which I don't see happening because Kai Kara France leads the dance. He pushes the pace, and he's got great cardio. So I don't see that happening. Or Mark De La Rosa takes you down and submits you. Don't see that happening either because Kai Kara France has legit submission defense. Yes, he's been submitted in his career, but I've seen him in some submission attempts that should have been in, like against Rowland Pavia. He was in arm bars that looked like they were in, okay? And I was panicking. I was like wincing on my own arm for them. He just, like clockwork, circles his way out of them, does everything he needs to get back into a safer position, and ends up on top. I like the way he looks. I think he's going to get the win. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. It's a tough fight. Don't get me wrong, it's a tough fight. I'm not saying that he's going to win by... I did say he's going to win by flying colours. I think he's going to edge a decision win here. I don't think he's going to KO Mark De La Rosa. Okay? I think he's going to edge a 2-1 on rounds for a decision win. It's going to be close. Mark De La Rosa is a legit opponent, but I don't know, man. I feel like if Kai Kara France can win here on the main card, he may be what flyweight needs at the moment. Because right now, other than Benavidez versus Huda, who's next? Who the fuck cares who's next? You know, like, no one gives a fuck who's next if Benavidez fights Cejudo. No one cares. What, they're going to do a trilogy? They can do a trilogy, I guess. I don't really give a fuck, to be honest with you. Divas and Figueiredo's the only guy I can think of. He's the only guy I can think of. And he lost his fight before last to Jose Formiga, so he's going to have to go on a bit of a streak. He's fighting again soon, so I don't know, man. Flyweight needs to just start yapping, you know? Even though they aren't big dogs, they can be little chihuahuas, but just fucking just start fucking talking. You know what I mean? Not even talking shit. Chael Sonnen made a video about this, where flyweights have literally been warned now, you're not interesting enough, and we just took away all of your jobs. No weight will bring you back on one last chance, and none of them are doing anything interesting whatsoever. Because they're fucking... I don't understand. Just Colby Covington it. Colby Covington. I just watched a documentary from Mixed Molly. Molly whopped the fuck out of his ass. Okay? You guys know that guy. He makes sick videos. He made a video about Colby Covington potentially being cut, win or lose, on the Damian Maia fight, and that's why he did that thing in the post-fight speech. He was going to be cut, win or lose, of the Damian Maia fight. It was the last fight on his contract, and Sean Shelby told him, win or lose, we're not going to re-sign you. That's why he did all of that shit on the mic. That has happened now to the flyweights. They've been cut. They've been given a second chance. Do something with it. You fucking dwarfs. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.